the way I like it, baby. I don't want to live forever. And don't forget the Joker.
And unfortunately, that's the reality of our lives. We will all not live forever. Lemmy didn't want to live forever, he just lived life. So rest in peace, Lemmy. He was Motorhead. He is Motorhead. Motorhead will be no more. No more. Sad day for rock and roll. Sad day for metal. I never had the opportunity to see Motorhead live. It's disappointing. One of my downfalls. You know, there's a few bands that have slipped my grasp. There's a few bands. Motorhead was one of them. But this is The Block. Let's begin. I'm your host, Kyle Johnston. This is for the late night addicts, the early morning coffee drinkers. It's where we talk some sports. We break down the games, do some handicapping, talk a little pop culture, the hot topics in the world. And of course, I bring some music, some much needed music. Yeah, unfortunately, Lemmy lost his battle with cancer. Lemmy lost his battle with cancer. Now, I've heard a lot of stories about Lemmy. I'm not one to tell them. They aren't my stories. Maybe one day I'll indulge in them. But, you live life in the fast lane, Lemmy. You live life in the fast lane. But I'm just going to do a little bit of different format here. Basically, I'm doing a little bit of house sitting. It'll be back and forth between my house and the house I'm looking after over the next 7 to 10 days. So when I'm down here, I'm going to try and I'm going to basically throw my picks out real quick, 10-15 minutes. Get that video up for all you handicappers, degenerates out there. People who like to put a few wagers on the games. And then I'll come back and I'll film another podcast and I'll put that out a little bit later. We'll talk about some, I'll include some stories, you know, some of the pop culture, some of the things that's going down. So let's get into this. Let's roll. So college sports is in full swing. The bowl games coming down to a close. We got some good matchups today. Some good matchups yesterday. The Baylor Bears ran wild. Fournette and the LSU Tigers came out with a big win. It was a big showing for a potential top 5 pick in the NFL draft next year. Fournette. I'm sure everybody and their mothers had Fournette on their DraftKings lineup, as he did quite well. I'm sure you didn't win without him. But let's not live in the past. Let's move forward. Since we're talking about the gridiron, some college football. We'll start with the college football. First game on the board is the Mississippi State Bulldogs taking on the NC State Wolfpack in the Belk Bowl. The Bulldogs are 8-4. The Wolfpack are 7-5. Two pretty good teams. We're going to see a good game here. We're going to see a good game. The Wolfpack like to put points up. The Bulldogs do have the 27th ranked rushing attack in the nation. North Carolina State, though, they're boasting the 46th ranked rushing defense. We'll get to the lines here just in a little bit. For the Bulldogs to win, though, they're going to have to rely on Prescott and Ross. They're going to have to come up with some big plays against this pretty stingy North Carolina State defense. The Wolfpack, you know, they rank 30th in the country. So they can put some points up on the board. So we're going to see a classic game here. We're going to see a classic game. North Carolina, they've forced over 21 turnovers this season. So, you know, their defense not only come to play, but they're ball hawks. So we're going to see some turnovers in this game. I think that's going to be the pivotal moments, obviously, turnovers. It's the old cliche, whoever has the least amount of turnovers usually does pretty damn well. So let me just pull up the lines here for you. A little bit all over the place here this morning. I just got a little distracted. A nice little conversation. I'll continue that in a little bit, though. That's why I'm a little late getting this out, but that's okay. That's okay. We just keep working away. That's what we do. So, anyways, the Belk Bowl. Mississippi State Bulldogs, they're laying 5.5 points. Total in this game is 60. I like the North Carolina State Wolfpack at plus 5.5. North Carolina is 6-6 against the spread on the season. Mississippi State, you know, a little bit better. Respectable 7-5. North Carolina is 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games, though, overall. So they've kind of slowed down a little bit, but they've continued to put points up. They continue to put points up. You know, they lost to North Carolina, 45-34. They lost to Florida State, 34-17. Not bad outings, though. Not bad outings. And that was on the road. That was in Florida State. But they put up 40-plus points on Syracuse, and they had a tough loss to Clemson, 56-41 as well. So they put up 41 points on Clemson. They come to play North Carolina. They come to play. They're going to want to win this game, too. They want to win this game for the ACC. Or the A10. Where are they in? A10, ACC? I think they're ACC still right now. Yeah, pretty sure. So many goddamn college divisions and so many goddamn teams. You start mixing them, and the problem is they keep switching. Now they got the American, which has got a lot of the former Big East teams. The Big East is basically done in football, but it's still alive in basketball. There's just so many goddamn divisions. But anyways, I like North Carolina State. They're putting up 33 points a game, giving up 23. Mississippi State, they're allowing 171 yards, rushing yards per game. North Carolina State, they're putting up 200, just over 200. So I look for the North Carolina State running game to really get at Mississippi. I think North Carolina is going to own that front seven, the front line. So I don't want to get too involved in a lot of these games. Next game up on the board, though, 7 o'clock kickoff. Louisville takes on Texas A&M. Texas A&M is down to the third-string quarterback. Louisville's laying 3.5 points. The total in this game is 49. So basically the big thing here right now, though, is that Habenak is now the starting quarterback in Texas A&M. He was a third stringer all year. Alvin and Murray are gone. But Habenak's, he's stepping up. Texas A&M, they had a pretty explosive offense all year. They were ranked number 68, 68th in the nation. They were putting up 28 points a game, so it's not bad. They were productive. They were productive. So we're going to see if he can continue it. I don't like that. I don't like the big changes before bowl games, even though they've had some time to practice, but it is really their first time out. The first time out. So the first half should be interesting. I think Louisville will jump on them early. So Louisville, they're 7-5. The Aggies, they're 8-4. Louisville's putting up 28 points a game as well. Both teams are giving up 21 to 24 points a game. Pretty solid teams. Pretty solid teams. Louisville's on a good little run here. They've won 4 in the last 5. They lost at Pitt, which is a tough game. Still were in that game. They hung tough. They lost 45-34. Then they bounced back with a nice outing in Kentucky. So it's not like Louisville's faced a cupcake schedule, and they're going to be up to win this game too. I think the Big 12's a little overrated this year, to be honest with you. And just in this game, I just don't like the changes. I just don't like the changes at quarterback. Texas A&M, they're 1-6 against the spread in their last 7 games. Louisville's not much better. 2-5 against the spread in their last 7. So something's got to give. Something's got to give here. But I will take the Louisville Cardinals at -3.5. Once again, Louisville's -3.5 point favorites. The total in this game is 49. I'll take Louisville -3.5. Last game on the board is USC taking on the Wisconsin Badgers. Clay Helton's at the helm. He's running the show for USC right now, the interim replacement for Steve Sarkisian, guy who got wasted at one of the USC team events. Blamed it on pills and booze, but he was just wasted. He's a little bit of a bully as a coach too. One of those bully guys. Likes to have his drinks. You mix that together, and it's usually not a very good environment, especially in this day and age. But this is the Holiday Bowl. USC and Wisconsin. It's a pretty interesting matchup, actually. Pretty interesting matchup. Badgers coming in with the ranked 4th in the country, allowing just over 98 yards rushing a game on defense. Pretty solid. I think this is going to come into play. This is USC's senior quarterback, Cody Kessler's final match before entering the NFL draft. So he's going to be pretty stoked to play as well. I think we're going to see a pretty good game. I think we're going to see more points than some people in Wisconsin would like to see. But that being said, I do like the Wisconsin Badgers. USC are -3.5 point favorites. And now these -3.5s, they are fucking tough. They are tough, but -3.5 point favorites are USC. Total in this game is 50.5. I do like the Wisconsin Badgers. I actually got the Wisconsin Badgers at +4. It was +4 about 3 hours ago, so we're starting to see some movement on the Badgers. I think they show up to play. They're looking for their second double-digit season in a row. So they got a lot of motivation. This is Cody Kessler's final game, so there's some motivation on USC's side. I do like the over. I don't think USC is going to be able to run the ball at all. So I think they're going to, rely on some explosive plays. That's what USC's been all about this year. So I would lean to the over. Juju Smith-Schuster, he's going to get his catches. He's going to get his touchdowns. He's going to get his touchdowns. In Wisconsin, they're going to answer. They're going to answer. And I do think Wisconsin's going to hang around. I'm looking, 27-23 win Badgers, somewhere around there. So it's going to be right around the total. Right around the total. I don't have a play on the total. Kind of lean into the over. It might be a little bit more. Maybe a 31-27 victory. Over, 31-28. Something in the lines of that. Badgers do usually have a pretty decent kicker. So I can rely on a couple field goals from the Badgers. So I like the Wisconsin Badgers at plus 3.5. So I'm just going to run through those football picks quick. I got a few on the hard court as well. So the NC State Wolfpack are taking on Mississippi State. I'm getting distracted here. They got the Sunderland-Liverpool game on. So the Wolfpack from NC State are taking on Mississippi State and the Bulldogs. I like the Wolfpack at plus 5.5. I like the Louisville Cardinals at minus 3.5 over Texas A&M. I like the Wisconsin Badgers to beat USC Trojans. At least to hang tough, I got them at plus 3.5. Now we got some quality basketball games going on today. Some quality basketball games. And like usual, I got a whole bunch. I'm like I'm Mr. Tommy Total today. I like my totals more. I got a couple sides. Not my best plays, but first game up on the board is Michigan Wolverines. My Michigan Wolverines. Big supporter of the blue and gold. They're taking on Illinois. Big Ten matchup. Michigan's laying minus 5.5. Total in this game is 140. It's gone exactly the way I've wanted to. I've kind of held down on this game. I like the under. 140. But I like Illinois to cover the spread. So I'm going to take Illinois at plus 5.5. And I like the under 140.5. See if I can just pull up a couple numbers here for you and just trying to bring as many games to you as I can. So it's an interesting game. Michigan hasn't fared too well in Illinois. At the State Farm Center. So Michigan is 6-14 against the spread in their last 20 on the road against Illinois. 4-16 straight up in their last 20 on the road in Illinois. So that tells you something. Michigan's also 4-8 straight up in the last 12 on the road. Michigan has struggled mightily on the road. Last game on the road, they lost to SMU, 82-58. A piss poor showing. A god-awful showing. Terrible showing. With that being said, Michigan is 7-4 against the spread on the season. Illinois is batting .500 basically, 4-4-3. There is some worry on the Illinois side. There's some worry. You're 1-3-3 against the spread in your last 7. 1-3-3 against the spread in your last 7 at home. But with that being said, we're gonna ride the Illinois Fighting Illini, plus 5.5, and we're also gonna take the under 140.5. Penn State Nittany Lions, they're taking on Maryland. Game I really like. It's one of my better bets. One of my best bets on the college board this evening. Maryland are minus 15-point favorites. The total in this game is 134.5. Tommy Total's coming into play again. I like the over 134.5. I think Penn State, they're looking attractive at plus 15. I think they can hang in there. But I look Penn State to give us 65 to 70 points, and I think Maryland's going to be able to take care of the rest. Maryland is putting 80 points up a game. They're 11-1 on the season. They're off to a good start. Penn State is 6-2-1 against the spread in their last 9 on the road. That's why I'm kind of leaning to that plus 15. It looks good. But I think both teams will be able to give us some points in this game. It's gone over in 6 of Maryland's last 9 games. It's also gone over in 4 of Maryland's last 6 games at home. So I like the over, 134.5. Let me just fly down here. So we got a pretty good game here in the ACC here. We got Syracuse, the Orangemen. They're taking on Pitt in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh are minus 7.5 point favorites. Total in this game is 140. I like the over 140. So we got Syracuse. Syracuse 6-6 against the spread. Pitt's sitting at 4-5 against the spread on the season. Pittsburgh is 16-7 straight up in their last 23 games when playing Syracuse. Syracuse is 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games on the road. 2-4 against the spread in their last 6 playing on the road in Pitt. One thing that really caught my eye, and I like the over for this reason, sole reason alone, is the Pittsburgh Panthers. They're hitting 80% of their free throws. These kids can hit free throws. I don't understand fucking what it is with kids these days, and they can't hit a fucking free throw. It's getting worse and worse and worse and worse. A fucking simple fucking fundamental. If I was a fucking basketball coach, and I'm fucking looking at, I don't want no kids that can't fucking hit at least 75% of their fucking free throws. And I'm being lenient. Being fucking lenient. I understand that there's some other shit going on in a college kid's life. But you gotta be able to hit at least 75% or you got fucking problems. It's a major fundamental. Like, come on. Come on. It's like needing to stick handle in fucking hockey. It's like being able to catch a fucking football if you're a wide receiver. You know? You can't be putting that stick-em on your hands like they did in the replacements on that wide receiver and stuff, even though they basically do in the NFL. They basically do. They got a whole bunch of stuff. You know? Come on. You're always trying to get an edge. But anyways, back to this. So they're hitting 80% of their free throws, the Pitt Panthers. So I like the over. Over 140. Syracuse is also giving us 72 points a game. Both these teams come in with some quality defense. But I think it's going to be a classic ACC match. We're going to see some points on the board. These kids are going to be excited. Pretty sure it's on ESPN. So they know they're on television. Syracuse, they gave us 72 points in St. John's. So we're looking much the same. We're going to be in good situation. Last game on the college board. Some late night action for you degenerates. The Fresno State Bulldogs are taking on the UNLV Running Rebels. The Running Rebels, they're minus 7.5 point favorites. Total in this game is 144.5. I like the Fresno State Bulldogs to cover the points. Fresno's 9-4 on the season. Same with the UNLV Running Rebels. UNLV is 7-5 against the spread. They've been kind to me this year. I've been on the seem to be on the right side of the Running Rebel games this year. It is 4-4. Fresno is 4-4 against the spread on the season as well. Both teams come in with some solid defense. I am leaning towards the under in this game as well. I will probably play the under in this game. I think 144.5 is just a little too high. Just a little too high. But anyways, so, some of the trends don't really necessarily go with us. Fresno is 3-7 against the spread in the last 10 games on the road. Well, UNLV, they're 5-1 straight up in their last 6 when playing at home against Fresno. They are 2-4 against the spread in the last 6 against Fresno, though. So that's good for us. But UNLV's been a force at home this year. 8-1 straight up in their last 9 games overall at home. But I like the Bulldogs to hang tough. I think they come to play. They put up, Fresno gave us 72 points in Arizona in a tough 85-72 loss for the Bulldogs. So they've proven they can hang tough on the road. So I like to see that to continue in Las Vegas. And the Rebels, sometimes you just never know with the Rebels. But I will be playing the under as well in this game. Just talked myself into it. So I like the Fresno State Bulldogs at plus 7.5. I like the under 144.5 in this game as well. In the NBA, home team, Toronto Raptors. They're at home against the Washington Wizards. And right away, I know the Wizards have been playing the Raptors tough as of late. The Raptors are 7.5-point favorites. Total in this game is 202. I like the Washington Wizards at plus 7.5. I also like the under 202. I know Washington's beat up right now, but they're still playing some good basketball. They got John Wall. They got Gortat. They got some good players. You know, Bradley Beal, he's out. Gary Neal, he's out. Hilario's out. So their depth is going to be challenged. But with that being said, Toronto is 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games of playing at home against Washington. Toronto's 2-4 against the spread in their last 6 at home. Toronto actually hasn't covered the spread in their last 5 games when playing Washington overall. So Washington, they usually come to play against Toronto. They come to play. Toronto's coming off a little mini road trip where they lost to the Bulls their last time on the court. So I'm going to ride the hot hand of the Washington Wizards. Wizards have won 4 of 5. They haven't had too rigorous of a schedule. So, and they're 15-14 against the spread on the season. The Raptors, they're pretty good 17-14-1 as well. But I'm going to ride the Washington Wizards at plus 7.5, and I like the under. Not my best plays of the night, but I like them. And I like the Pittsburgh Penguins. I like the Pittsburgh Penguins on the frozen pond. Try to bring you out with a little bit of something here. So, glad you could be here. Remember, this is the blog. You can find my work on Twitter at KJ_the_block. Find it on my blog site, KyleJohnstonTheBlock.wordpress.com. Rest in peace, Lemmy. And let's take home some winners. And remember, if you're not laying the money down on the table, you're not winning.
Johnston town. You better leave.